Hello and welcome to the Court Case Podcast with me, your host, James Court.
And your co-host, Sweet Tea.
Yeah, we've got a great show for you today. We're going to be joined by the host of the Stay at Home Son podcast, Jack Randle, and we're going to be talking some great stuff. We're going to talk about his podcast, we're going to discuss pizza, and we're going to be talking some juicy relationship stuff as well. So, if you want to stay tuned to that, that's all coming straight after this. Hello and welcome to the show, Jack Randle.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you're from the Stay at Home Son podcast.
That's right. Yeah, I started that podcast early last year with a few friends of mine.
Yeah. Yes, we've seen on your page Bradley, right?
Yeah, my buddy Brad. So we're actually going to school together in Kingston, Ontario, in Canada right now.
Oh wow.
Wow.
We've known each other for a while. It was actually he didn't want to do it at all.
Oh.
And I managed to convince him that it would be worth his time, and he's not a big fan of being recorded, so we kind of got over that hump, and then it was a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
What you're the first person from Canada that we've had on the show.
I'm flattered.
Yeah.
I'm flattered.
Well, and the first guy podcaster as well, actually.
Yeah, that's another big thing. You're the first guy as well we've collabed with.
Really, I will try to
friends.
leave a good impression.
Yeah, it's weird, but how long have you been doing this podcast for?
Yeah, so Stay at Home Son, I think I started it last October, so coming up on 6 months.
Yeah.
But where I started getting interested in podcasting was, I'm not sure how the school system works over there, but so I'm in university right now, and I had an opportunity for an internship, which is basically just a 16-month work term.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all right, but it was pretty boring. I had a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah.
So I actually managed to convince them to let me start a company podcast there.
Cool.
And that's where I kind of started getting into it. So I started this internal. It was based on nuclear energy because I was working in a nuclear plant.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really fun. But it was kind of a cool dry run for what a podcast would need to be like.
Yeah.
Because there was no exposure. Like, for security purposes, we had to keep it internal.
Of course.
So it was like a cool exercise to like know what equipment I wanted and brush up on my interviewing skills on kind of company dollar and company time, which was really nice. So maybe I'm a bit biased, but I think Stay at Home Son has gone a little bit smoother than that first one.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of experience, but Stay at Home Son only about 5-6 months.
Yeah, well, we started around the same time there, didn't we?
I think so, yeah. But,
right on.
From what you've said, you and me have had a very similar experience, actually, because last year, around last March, I wasn't doing this podcast at all, and I managed to get a job as a podcast host in London. But we were in the middle of recording a few episodes in advance, and then he ended up cancelling the project, so then it didn't go ahead. So I came home and was like, well, I'd rather just make one on my own then. And so we started doing this. So I managed to get some company experience as well.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And you're running two now?
No, we're just doing the one, just Court Case. Is the
just
one
the one,
podcast.
okay.
Yeah, the other one, the one that I got employed to do, didn't even get released. So.
Oh. Still though, good to get the exposure, I feel like, and run it through a few times.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And even inside the seasons, I found that the difference in quality between episode 1 and like episode 4 or episode 5 for us has been huge. And I ended up releasing mine chronologically. Yeah. So whenever, I get a few new Instagram followers or some people DM me and they're like, hey, I just listened to episode 1. In the back of my mind, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Listen to episode 5.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, because we've gone back, definitely our episode 1, the sound quality is
awful.
So much worse than where we're at now. And it's like, please don't start from the beginning.
I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't show our best side.
But no.
Yeah, exactly. And ours especially is our first episode is just one of our friends we're getting over the hump of recording and figuring out the settings of the mics and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then our third episode, I managed to pull some strings and get the CEO of the company I was working at for my internship.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
And he's someone I would call a friend of mine now, and it's a pretty big company, and the sound quality is way better. So like the quality difference just between the episode in general and also the quality of the episode is huge. So I try to push people towards episode 3.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this, listen to episode 3. It's good stuff.
Anyone from our show, if you wanted to, get them to go and listen to yours, what's it about? What's the podcast? What's the main thing about it?
Yeah, so I'll give you a bit of background. I called it Stay at Home Son because it was exactly what I was afraid of becoming.
Yeah.
Like I really want to be free to roam around and try different careers and really figure out what I would like to do.
Of course.
And so right now I'm graduating from electrical engineering.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's been hard, but it's been pretty fun, and I've met some really awesome people.
Yeah.
But I don't think actual technical engineering is for me.
Okay.
Like I'm not going to sit down and punch a bunch of stuff into a calculator or physically make a circuit or something like that. That's not really where my strengths lie. So the first idea for this was, okay, I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to be stuck at home living with my parents. What am I going to do? And then the idea for this podcast came in, where I basically started hunting down people that I thought were interesting or led interesting lives or just did something in a unique way, and just tried to harass them until they would come on my podcast.
Love that.
Nice.
Yeah. And so that was season 1, and we ended up getting 15 people that all did drastically different things.
Yeah.
And just interviewed them, not necessarily about their job.
Yeah.
There was always job aspects to it.
Yeah.
But more just about like what their take was and what their mentality was and why they chose to do things the way that they did.
Yeah.
Well, I guess your next guest has to be Taylor Swift.
Oh,
look at his top.
Judging by your shirt.
I might pass out. If Taylor Swift comes on, I would love it.
Oh my God, we're going to have to make that happen for you.
Yeah.
Really? You guys have that kind of pull?
Yeah, I feel like we can do that for you. Imagine.
I wish.
Yeah. I would love to, obviously the goal is to grow and get people with some more pull or some more fame or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm really, really happy with the first season, how it went. Like we got like people succeeding in just like completely different ways. Like one of my favorite episodes is one of the last ones that hasn't even aired yet.
Okay.
But she's I met her because she was my professor in first year university.
Right.
And just had an insane life. She basically grew 2 healthcare businesses from the ground up, is like a multi-millionaire.
Wow.
And then left it all and went to live in the woods with her husband, completely disconnected for 8 years.
Oh, wow.
That is a vibe.
Yeah. That's mad.
Like incredibly, like her story, I won't go too in depth, but they came back from this forest, and the tech boom was while they were living in the woods. So they had to learn how to use smartphones and everything.
Oh, wow.
Because when they left, the technology was just nowhere near where it was when they came back.
That's so cool.
That is mad, isn't it?
That's really cool.
Very, very interesting stuff. And I met her when I was in first year, and she literally opened her class. She said, "Hey, sorry guys, like, I'm like just back from the woods basically," and told us this crazy story. So like there's a bunch of people like that where sorry,
that's okay.
I put it on do not disturb, but Siri turned on. There's a bunch of people like that have just not only met success, but then took that success and done very like intriguing things with it, and things that I find very interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
No, definitely. That's so cool.
I listened to your most recent one yesterday, where you had the guy who has a family pizza business.
Yes,
he was really good, and I loved hearing about like the differences between what it's like working in a family business and what it's like what would be working, not connected to that. I just think that's good because you get some things. Because I have a friend who, an old school friend, who has a similar family business. He's Indian and they have a curry restaurant in my town, and he always used to hate working the family business because they like underpaid him and stuff like that. But your guy, he had nothing but great things to say about it, and it was really nice.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's on a podcast, so I don't know how genuine it is, but so that's Dimitri's episode, and I've had the privilege of knowing him for ages.
Yeah.
Like he's an age-old friend of mine, and his family's been owning restaurants the whole time I've known him.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And it's not easy, right? Like sometimes we'd be going out to parties, we'd be going out to bars, and they need him at the restaurant, right? Because sometimes those are their busiest times.
Yeah.
So it was really, really cool to hear him break down why he does it.
Yeah.
And why he enjoys it. And also just some of the details that I don't think about, right? Like I'm not involved in restaurants whatsoever, but just like hearing him casually mention like, oh, my mom and dad get up at 5 to make the dough and stuff like that. You know, I just find that so interesting. It's not necessarily the most glamorous. Like he's not making millions of dollars and moving to the woods.
Yeah.
But I still find those little details and the stuff you don't think about to be very, very interesting.
Yeah. It's like it's you think like your next door neighbor has a completely different routine every day.
Yeah, such
to
a
what
different
you
life.
do, and it's just so strange to think about.
100%.
Then
Exactly. That's one of the things I wanted to get into is just everyone does it a little bit differently. Everyone makes money, survives, and is happy, hopefully, in a different way. And you don't always see it at the surface.
Yeah.
So very, very cool to have a long form kind of discussion like this. One of my plans is I'm going for a world travel as soon as borders open up for about a year. And what I'm going to try to do is take season 3 of Stay at Home Son and kind of do a similar thing and see what people's routines are and how they survive and how they remain content, but in different cultures.
So it'll be Traveling Son then.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I'm hoping that if I do my job right, the name will become more and more ironic as I go.
I love that.
Do you have a list of like what countries you want to go to?
Yeah, we have a huge list. I'm going with a buddy who's actually my friend Jamie. He does my video and photos.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Another longtime friend of mine. We're planning on going. So for 12 months, you kind of got to plan it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think we're starting in Europe. I've been a bunch, but I think we're going to do 3 or 4 months in Europe, just kind of all over.
Have you ever been to England?
Yeah, I have family there actually.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been over 2 or 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
The family, are they in the south or the north?
Honestly, the last time I went, I was pretty young.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. I just know I know they're in London. I just don't know if London's south or north.
Okay, yeah, that's south, not too far from us actually.
Yeah, so we go over. Not so much lately, but been over a few times. I love Europe in general. I've been to quite a few places there.
Yeah.
And then I'm excited for Southeast Asia. We're gonna go there.
Wow,
Definitely,
yes, that'd be unreal.
Yeah, it'll be a ton of fun. And then I also have family in Australia and New Zealand, so we're gonna go there, and then kind of come back to South America, and then back up home to Canada.
Damn.
New Zealand is like top of my bucket list for me. I'm very jealous of New Zealand.
Yeah, it's a cool vibe over there. I was lucky enough to go backpacking there with my sister. So my dad's from there. It was his birthday not so long ago.
Okay.
And we all flew over when you could do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And we got there for his birthday, and they realized they didn't actually want us there. So we were there for 2 weeks, and then they were like, to me and my sister, they said, "Hey, here's 10 days and a bus pass, and you just go backpacking in New Zealand, and we'll see you in 10 days."
Oh my God, you made the best out of a worse situation.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. We actually met up with some other backpackers from England and just had a great time. But I would definitely recommend New Zealand. The whole place is amazing.
Because I love Lord of the Rings, so I want to go to all of the places that they filmed it.
Yeah, we saw the mountain. It was lovely. It was fun. It was really fun. No complaints.
That's so cool. But that's such a great and unique idea for a podcast.
Yeah.
Just taking it around to loads of different places.
Yeah, and it's just an extension of what I'm trying to do, right? I don't know if I want to be an engineer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to live in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's just an extension of that. And I feel like the more people you can sit down with and have a genuine conversation and try to learn from, the better off you are making any kind of lifelong decision.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the mind that, especially with engineering, a lot of my friends are graduating and a lot of them are walking into jobs or taking on jobs that the company intends them to be there for the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, I'm 22. So in 10 years, I'm 32. I don't want to be working that job until I'm 32.
Yeah, I get you.
Right. So I'm going to take a poke around, see, maybe there's a job that I don't like in Canada, but I love the same job in Australia.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to try to cast a pretty wide net and see what I catch and then see what I choose.
That's great.
That is so cool.
That's great.
That's a great way to that's a great mentality to have, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. And the funny thing is, if I do this podcast right and it grows well, this career
could be
podcast will just be completely pointless because I'll just be like, oh, I'm doing podcasts now.
Yeah. That'd be sick. But
that would be the dream.
Yeah.
You'll have to look us up if you come to England.
I will. I'm trying to find connections in every country because I think it's way cooler. I don't like being a tourist. Like, it's kind of sounds like an oxymoron, but I like going places, but I don't like being a tourist.
No.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like a fish out of water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my plan is to find people who live there and don't mind taking an hour or two. And I'm lucky in the way that I have family most places.
Yeah.
But just to show me what it's actually like there, and what people do there. And if you want to have a good time as a local, or like things that are not overpriced and like made clearly for tourists, how do you do that? And like, what does a normal day look like? That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I feel like a lot of people travel just to say they've been places.
Yeah.
As opposed to actually go and experience the place for what it is. So I'm really trying to do that second option and just experience what's really there as opposed to this kind of facade that is sometimes put on.
Yeah.
Well, instead of sitting in an office when you're 32, you're going to be so rich in experience now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Rich and unemployable because I've been out of work for 10 years.
You've been traveling the world, you've been spending all your money, but you've got the experience.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I wanted to talk because we've never really had a discussion with someone from Canada before. I wanted to talk and just like ask some questions about what it's like. Firstly, we're in lockdown at the moment, but we're slowly coming out of it. In regards to Corona, what's it like in Canada at the moment?
Yeah, so Canada's so big, it really depends on what province you're in. So different areas of it are handling it in different ways.
Right.
But I'm in Ontario, and I actually have just done a cross-Canada road trip, so I can actually speak to all of it.
Okay. Oh, cool.
So Toronto right now is one of the worst for cases. So almost all of Ontario is in lockdown. Right. Which was basically, until last week, was basically, I'll liken it to house arrest. Like they were like, if you leave, it must be for mandatory stuff.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it was very, very serious. And then about 2 weeks ago, a few areas of Ontario, because again, Ontario is massive.
Yeah.
We're just doing way, way better than other parts. So they opened up 4 or 5 areas of Ontario into what we call a green zone.
Yeah.
Which is basically just below business as usual. Oh, so okay. It's like bars are open, but they close at 10.
Right.
Masks everywhere, and all gatherings of over 20 are canceled and illegal. but you can still kind of meet with your masks on in like groups of 10 or 15, and then
my God,
you can go to the bar. So that's actually where I am right now. Is I'm lucky enough that one of those areas is where I go to school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I moved back out from Toronto to my schoolhouse.
Yeah.
As soon as this area opened up, and then it's basically business as usual here. Except for all my school is online, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird to hear how different countries are dealing with it, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah, it's weird. Canada's a hard one because it's so big, and some areas of it just like aren't that populated.
Yeah.
So, like a lockdown that applies in Southern Ontario, which is the much more populated part, the much busier part, the same rule just doesn't make sense in the North, where there's just far less people, and like it's not spreading there at all. So I don't envy the government here, because there's a whole bunch of gray area, and there's so much variance
of course.
Yeah.
Have you guys got a vaccine yet?
Me personally, no, but we definitely, we have one.
Okay, cool.
My sister's actually a nurse. She got vaccinated a little while ago.
Nice.
So they've been around. The distribution's not so hot.
Okay.
So like we have one, and like workers that are necessary have received them, or like a high portion of them. But as far as like older people and middle-aged people, I think everyone was hoping to have the vaccine to them a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And it has not gone to plan at all. Like a lot of people are a little bit mad about it.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to not mind that much.
Of course, yeah. But I mean, we've not had ours, but I mean, I don't mind too much. As long as the older generation get it and aren't dying, then I'm okay.
Exactly.
But as going off the topic of Corona, Canadians are often like stereotyped as being really nice, like extremely polite. Is that how you've experienced it growing up, or are they actually really rude?
It definitely depends, but for the most part, everyone's really nice. And what's kind of bumming me out about Corona is that that's kind of leaving now. Yeah. Like, for example, I was at a grocery store not so long ago, and this lady dropped her things.
Right.
And instantly I went to go pick them up with her, and I got about a foot away from her, and then like I started backing up again because I realized like I can't do that.
Yeah.
So people are genuinely very polite up here. Like they'll hold the door, like they'll help you pick up your things if you drop them, stuff like that.
Of course.
But those little habits, COVID has seriously affected them.
That's such a shame.
And it kind of bums me out.
Yeah.
That being said, the politeness is not a blanket thing. Okay. There's a lot of dickheads.
I feel like you get them anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get them anywhere, and like there's always going to be people having a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing I like is, for the most part, if someone is having a bad day and they'll go off at you or something, and they'll try to lay into you for whatever, there's always someone kind of nearby that when they're done, you can just kind of look at each other and be like, oh, fuck, like, this guy's having a bad day, you know? So it's not so serious.
Yeah. I see on TV and media that like Americans often like make fun of Canadians.
Really?
Is there really like a little rivalry, or is it all good?
Well, yeah, like there's a little rivalry, but you gotta realize like we're not the same really at all. Like, so we kind of just piggyback off their entire economy because they're like 10 times as big as us.
Right.
And as far as like rivalry comes with sports and entertainment and like military and stuff like that, the US is just so huge.
Yeah.
That it doesn't really, I wouldn't even call it a rivalry because Canada doesn't invest a ton of time into that.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But no, when we go down, like I go down to the States all the time on a normal year.
Yeah.
Everyone's super nice. Like, they ask some dumb questions, but it is what it is. Like, I got asked if I ride around on polar bears and stuff.
I was waiting for James to ask that. It's something he would ask, to be fair.
Yeah.
I know. I figured I'd get out in front of it. We don't ride polar bears, but so they ask questions and they're really nice. What's interesting is that the global view of the two is very different. Where I think when you get to North America, like how we view each other for the most part is quite similar.
Yeah.
But as soon as you go across the pond, like people are in some countries, a lot of them actually, if you're American, obviously just based on history and how they've handled themselves, they don't like you at all.
Right.
And based on the way that Canadians carry themselves, and we sound similar, I guess, we'll always get stamped as American.
Right.
And so we need to be like, oh no, we're Canadian, and we like show them a Canadian flag or something, or like our passport. And as soon as you show them that, people in other countries are like, whoa, like Canadian, like we love you guys.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see the difference of how we're greeted in other places.
Yeah, that is mad.
Because even more than New Zealand for me, Canada is top of my. I've always wanted to go to Canada because I really want to see like bears in the wild and stuff like that.
Yeah. I can't promise bears, but I just came back from this road trip.
Yeah.
So I basically drove from almost the East Coast, like not quite. So I started in Ontario, drove all the way out west through the middle provinces and then out to British Columbia and into Vancouver.
Yeah.
And then back. And it was for a ski trip. So we were just skiing for the last month.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. But yeah, all across the highway is these huge like moose warnings and mountain goat warnings and all this stuff.
That's cool.
So it was really cool. We were driving our RV. It was me and 3 friends. And on the side of the highway, there was just like 4 or 5 mountain goats just standing like right on the side of the road and just like looking at all the cars.
That's so
cool.
Cool.
You can definitely see some cool stuff.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to do a trip to Canada, where would you sort of advise they go?
Oh, good question.
Really depends what you're looking for, because there's just like so many little environments within Canada. I'm from Ontario, so I would say like don't go to Ontario because I'm used to it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like I look around Ontario, I'm like, like it's nothing special.
Yeah.
Other people have told me it's gorgeous. I just like don't really see it. But if you're okay with spending a bit more money, I would say that British Columbia, Alberta area is just, it's stunning.
I can imagine.
A ton of my friends went out there, are actually from there. So they come here for school and they live there.
Right.
So what I would recommend if you're visiting Canada, for you, James, I would go BC, check it out, and I would time your trip so that it overlaps with the Calgary Stampede.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of that?
No.
Okay, that's okay. So the Calgary Stampede is like the largest outdoor festival in Canada.
Oh,
this is
cool.
Sick.
Yeah, it's like the first year. This year's the first year they haven't had it since like before World War I or something. Like it happens for it's been happening forever. And what it is basically this huge festival in Calgary where it's a stampede, which is like they do all of these events, like they like wrangle cows and stuff, like they do very country stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what it started as, but now it's basically a whole celebration of the Calgary culture, and they set up these huge tents. And I went 2 years ago before COVID, and it was one of the best experiences I've had. Nice. So I would definitely go west and try to time it with the Calgary Stampede. Yeah. And it's 2 weeks long, but just get even like a few days of that. And I think that would be a really good time.
That sounds insane.
That does, doesn't it?
Yeah, let's do that. That's what I want to get up to. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a link to it after.
Yes.
But it's crazy. It's crazy.
Please do. Do you have any questions for us as English people? Is there anything you've ever wondered or wanted to know?
I feel like I got family over there.
Yeah.
So what I would say is current events.
Yeah.
Oh, we knew this was going to come up. I said it.
Yeah. Okay, I got to ask. I've been invested from the start because I watched Suits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, oh, Meghan Markle, like I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
And then I see this whole shebang going on over there.
Oh, I know.
And I'm like, my grandma also forced me to watch the Diamond Jubilee, so I'm also kind of enjoy the Queen.
Yeah.
And so I need you guys to tell me, like, whose side should I be on for this?
Well,
Oh,
we've been
God.
discussing this over the past few days. One, we're sick of hearing it.
Honestly.
Like, it is everywhere.
Like newspaper, shops, like you turn your TV, it's everywhere.
Yeah, because the big thing at the
TikTok.
moment is, I don't know how in keeping you are, but obviously Piers Morgan seems to hate Meghan Markle, and he's just left.
He walked out.
Yeah.
And now he's quit
He's
his
quit the
morning
show.
his morning show. He's quit it over this.
Huh.
So weird.
But like evidence is resurfing that apparently she basically rejected him. And that's why he's now bitter towards
Yeah, on
her
a date.
relationship. So very
Oh, Lord.
interesting.
Yeah. But my whole view of the thing is I think every party has been wrong in different ways. In regards to Harry and Meghan, they've been a little bit hypocritical because recently they came out and said they really want to be private and not have anything to do, but have just become the most famous people in the world right now by doing a tell-all interview.
Yeah.
And also while one of their family members, Philip, is currently in hospital. So it's kind of slightly tone deaf to do it at this time.
Yeah.
And also, I don't agree with what Piers has done because he went on his thing and he said that he didn't believe that when Meghan said that she was suicidal.
You don't say that.
Which
you can't win that.
Yeah,
which is never the right thing to say.
No,
never.
Absolutely not. I mean, but the thing is, she does have like a history of sort of trying to be the I am, you know. I don't know if you knew, but like stuff that I've heard is, for example, like she completely cut off her own family. And
I did know that.
Yeah, and also apparently she had a fiance or boyfriend before she met Harry.
A husband.
And yeah, she completely cut him off and sent his engagement ring back in the post.
I didn't know any of this, so I don't know what to believe anymore, honestly.
Yeah. But in regards to the royal family, I don't think that they've treated Harry and Meghan very well.
No.
I don't think they've been as welcoming to Meghan as they were to Kate.
Yeah.
So I think they've definitely been wrong there. The whole the racism bit.
Oh, I don't even want to touch on that. I don't even know what was said
It's difficult to address. Did you watch the Oprah interview?
I'm going to be honest, I watched almost nothing.
Oh, okay, that's fair. So we just watched the highlights on like Twitter.
Yeah.
But, I haven't seen anything. I just wanted to get a knee-jerk reaction from you guys who are obviously in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Well, my immediate reaction was, why the fuck are Americans seeing it before the British?
That was the thing.
Like, it's our monarchy, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you guys all got the interview like a day before we got to see it.
I think it was like 4 days or something. I don't know.
This is our business.
Yeah, I heard about that because people were getting their information from Americans in Britain.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even released yet.
Yeah, I saw literally the whole interview on TikTok before it even came out in the UK. I was just like, oh, okay.
But the main thing is there's a lot of people on Twitter at the moment that are saying that there shouldn't even be a monarchy and we should abolish it.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I completely disagree with. And I think the Queen herself is a fantastic woman and she's done so much for our country, particularly during like World War II and stuff.
And it's what makes us British though as well.
And yeah, it is what makes us, British at the end of the day. So I just think that they need to sort it out themselves, get out of the public eye, sort out their private affairs.
Keep it in private.
And just sort of pipe down a bit and sort it out.
It was an intense interview, wasn't it?
Yeah,
God.
it was.
Yeah, it's always a bad look when you're supposed to be like the figurehead of an entire country.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
like can't even sort out your own shit.
Yeah. And I mean, also the main thing that annoys me is how this is getting so much attention and Prince Andrew isn't.
Yeah.
Who obviously, I don't know if you know.
Have you heard about that?
No idea.
Okay, so you know Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing with him. Well, basically, Prince Andrew was a friend of Jeffrey Epstein and visited his island and did stuff with kids.
No.
Yeah, and the thing is, they have paid hardly any attention to that. They haven't handed him over to the FBI, which they were supposed to do for so they could investigate it. But they're putting all of their time into shit talking Meghan.
Maybe it's a calculated move.
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's definitely
starting to
trying
think.
to cover something up, aren't they?
Yeah.
Weird.
But,
wow. Well, thank you guys for the insight.
That's
It's
okay.
that's all right. Yes, we got some. So we wanted to get you involved in sort of the things that we do on our show a bit.
All right.
Which is great. And so obviously your last episode was about a guy that owns a pizza restaurant, and I found an article revolving around pizza here. And,
okay.
Does his restaurant, do they serve breakfast?
No, they don't.
Because apparently a nutritionist has said that pizza is healthier for breakfast than most cereals.
I believe that because most cereals are shit.
Yeah, they are.
They're like full of sugar.
They're sugary and gross.
Yeah, like I think most things are better than you for breakfast than most cereals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even have cereal anymore.
I don't have cereal anymore. But also, like, the thing is, like, after a bowl of cereal, I'm always more hungry. But after a whole pizza, I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
So, like, that's probably another reason why it's healthier, because you don't eat as much.
Yeah.
I'm on the yogurt granola wave, which has just been phenomenal.
Ooh,
Love that.
Huge fan.
I used to have yogurt and banana sometimes for breakfast. But to be honest, my most recent, out of the two, pizza and cereal, I've had pizza for breakfast more recent than I've had cereal.
Really?
Because, you know...
Oh, me too.
Yeah, we did a pizza night on Zoom.
Yeah, true.
And I only ate half, and in the morning I had some nice breakfast pizza.
That's the best thing. I did the same thing last week. I got drunk with some friends. I ordered a pizza.
Yeah.
And then they all left before the pizza got here. So I was like, So I was watching a movie. And I couldn't eat this whole pizza.
Yeah.
Obviously. I tried my hardest, but I couldn't. And then I woke up next morning. I had like 2 or 3 breakfast slices.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's boo. I can't believe they left. But
And to be fair, it was 4 a.m.
okay.
I didn't expect them to stay.
Yeah. And apparently pizza contains more fat than the cereals, but much less sugar.
Wow.
And you won't experience a sugar crash if you have pizza for breakfast.
I can see that.
What do they say about having pizza for every meal of the day?
They haven't covered it, but I would assume it's
not good.
Not great. But what was the movie that you watched?
Well, I think I only watched about half an hour of it. I can't even really remember.
Oh no, we're huge.
To be fair, it was 4 a.m. But what I have been watching, I'll let you know, is this new show that just got to Netflix here. It's like a sitcom. It's called Superstore.
Oh my
brother!
Oh my god, I want to watch that.
My brother's been telling me to watch it.
Superstore. Yeah, I watched it. I'm currently on season 3. I'm still watching it.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan. I find it hilarious.
Yeah,
I would recommend.
Oh, we'll have to get on it then because Billy said it's hilarious.
Yeah.
As well. But what would you say? We're a bit huge film and TV people. What would you say your favorite movie or show of all time?
Okay, I've got 2 favorite movies.
Yeah,
they're both older.
That's cool.
But one of my favorite movies of all time is The Usual Suspects.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. And then the other movie I'm a big fan of that not a lot of people seem to have heard of, but I thought it was huge. Have you guys heard of The Inside Man?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
No, I haven't.
Would recommend you. It's like a bank robbery movie.
Oh, nice.
I won't say anything more because there's a whole bunch of twists in it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But I think Denzel Washington's in it. Owen Wilson is... No, not Owen Wilson. He doesn't fit that mold. Who am I thinking of?
No, he doesn't.
Who am I thinking of? Clive Owen, I think his name is.
Yeah. I know you.
Really good. Really, really cool movie. They kind of do it in a mix of like real time and flashbacks. Like it's awesome. If you guys are looking for something to watch this week, I would say The Inside Man.
The Inside
Sick.
Man.
Maybe we should.
Got it. Yeah, we've I've been Sweet Tea's not as into film and TV as me, so I've been showing her like the greats. Like we're watching Breaking Bad at the moment.
Have you ever seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah. I actually just watched it for the first time.
Oh my
God. 3 months ago.
It's
so
so
you guys
good.
are catching me fresh off the experience.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. We have just finished. Just before recording this, we finished season 3. So
yes.
Jesse's just shot Gail.
That's right.
So without
you're giving you. If no one's listening, they're gonna know that now.
It's been out for years.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, if you don't know it by now, you don't want it.
Yeah. But without giving any spoilers for the next 2 seasons for Sweet Tea, how did you find the ending? What were your thoughts?
Oh, I was a fan. I was a huge fan.
Oh, good.
I thought it was cool. I liked the character arc just of people in general.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I can say without spoiling it.
Yeah, cool.
But as far as up till season 3, like, I just like the characters, and I like how you're at season 3. Like, I don't know, like Walt started as a guy that you agree with all the time.
Yeah.
And like kind of by season 3, he's using the same reasoning. So like he's using reasoning that you've agreed to up until that point. Yeah. But it's just getting like more and more twisted.
Oh,
which is
I know. It's mad. And like I love how it's all like connected as well. Like all the people are connected in some way. It's mad.
Yeah. Like the whole stuff with Chris and Saul and Mike.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous.
Are you
Mike is, I think, my favorite character.
I love Mike.
He's great. He's so good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Are you gonna watch the movie El Camino that's on Netflix?
I honestly don't watch I try not to watch a whole ton of TV.
Yeah.
But I end up doing it anyways. So I'll add it to the list. Is it related?
It takes place just after Breaking Bad finishes. So, and it's a movie.
It's about Jesse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, so like when? Oh, never mind. I was going to spoil, but I won't.
But yeah. You saw it in recommended, so she knows it's about Jesse. Yeah. But it takes place just after Breaking Bad.
And then obviously there's Better Call Saul as well.
Yeah.
I think I am going to watch that. After Superstore, my rule is I can only have one at a time.
Oh, wow. Okay, fair.
So after Superstore, I'll slot one of those two in.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
And I'll let you guys know what I think.
Yeah, I love Saul as well. He's great. So funny.
He's funny.
He's my favourite. His show, Better Call Saul, is fantastic.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So good. What else have we got in the news that we can talk about? We got...
this one.
One I found just before starting recording. There was a COVID-19 patient who died after experiencing a 3-hour erection that doctors struggled to treat. Have you heard about that?
Are those related?
I don't know. This is like the confusing part of the title.
We're going to find it now. So he was a 69-year-old man with obesity and a cough. He started to feel worse and was put on a ventilator. He then developed a 3-hour erection that doctors had to drain with needles.
Oh my god!
And he died soon after.
So why did he have an erection? Because of COVID symptoms? Is that what?
I don't know, but
I have a theory. I have a working theory.
Okay, go on.
You know how some people are like, they like the lack of oxygen. They're like, choke me.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
He is not getting enough oxygen. Due to COVID, 3-hour boner.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, that's dark, isn't it?
Can you imagine?
It's just my working theory. I just heard this.
We'll find it. It says that it says apparently it's a rare COVID-19 side effect.
Oh my god, really?
Damn. Jesus. I would struggle, I think, if it was like that for 3 hours. If I had an erection for 3 hours.
Well,
struggle with what? Putting pants on, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, but the man also had obesity, so that probably didn't help. So he had a bunch of problems, but that's the first time I'm hearing that
happening.
That thing. Apparently, it's a very rare COVID-19 side effect. So I don't think he did like to be choked.
Good to know.
Yeah.
He had a low flow priapism, which I don't know much about. The man died soon after his erection was cured.
Oh.
So he managed to get yeah, it was. Oh,
that's sad.
You said your sister was a nurse. How's her experience been?
It's been interesting. So she's 2 years older than me. She's just turned 25 actually.
Okay.
And she did an undergrad and then did another undergraduate degree, a 2-year in nursing. So she, at the start of COVID, or kind of in the thick of things, she was just finishing her nursing degree.
Cool.
And here we didn't have enough EMS, we didn't have enough workers, or they were really overworked. So they put out an option for students who are just graduating to walk directly into part-time work, and then if they were good, it would be full-time work.
Right. Oh, okay.
So she took that opportunity, and so she basically started working straight out of school.
Wow.
And she's been doing that for just under a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And her experience is really good. Obviously, walking into a full-time job in the field that you want, that you've just been going to school for, is awesome.
Yeah.
But obviously now is not the best time to be a nurse.
No.
Right? Like stuff's busy, stuff's stressful. Also, it's shift work, so she'll work 12 hours some days and then 12 hours some nights.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's a lot. So
mad respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's awesome. I think she likes the job.
Good.
I think the lifestyle kind of snuck up on her a bit. It's like you're working 12 hours, one day off that you basically need to sleep and like switch your sleep schedule over to nights, because then you have 12-hour night.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 days off.
Gosh.
That's so hard.
That is intense.
I bet she's begging for this stuff to all be over.
Yeah, I think she's excited just to experience like what normal nursing would be like.
Oh, 100%.
Under normal circumstance. And also she wants to do nursing and stuff elsewhere, like in New Zealand and in other countries.
Yeah.
So, I think she likes the job. I think she's having a good time.
Yeah.
I just think coming out of school straight into that lifestyle would be hard for anyone.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Of course. Admirable, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Like, I think it's better under control now.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, like, the nurses were so, like, just hospitals in general were so overwhelmed that they were really taking as much help as they could at any time.
Have you got free medical care in Canada?
Yep.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So you're like us. That's lucky.
Yeah, so it's obviously been huge for something like this. I'm lucky enough that no one in my immediate circles has had to go for COVID.
Yeah.
But it's been affecting a lot of people. Like a few of my friends' families, their entire family has had it.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's been interesting, and they just kind of shake it off at this point due to the free healthcare. It makes it so much easier. They just go in, they do what they need to do. It normally, from what I've heard, takes about 2 to 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And then for the most part, things are okay after.
Yeah.
Like I had a girl up here 2 weekends ago, just to party and hang out, and her whole family had COVID 3 weeks before, and they had already gone through the entire process, completely finished, were fine, and were no longer contagious, like in like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Whoa, okay.
Which was kind of surreal. She was like, "Oh yeah, I had COVID like 3 weeks ago."
Damn.
And everyone in the room was like, "Whoa!" Like,
yeah.
Get out of
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like I hadn't really thought about how you could exist and like hang out and how you would be after you got COVID. I was just always thinking in my head, I was like, Jack, don't get COVID, like you will die.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, I don't know, this girl, I've known her for a while, she seemed the exact same. She's like, yeah, I had it, it was fine.
Yeah, it just affects different people differently, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. That's what's so scary is like, I'm in my mind, it's almost like you're like rolling a dice. It's like, okay, I got COVID. It's like, spin the wheel. Like, how bad is it going to be?
Yeah.
And then you just take what you get, which is almost scarier.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Hopefully you just get a 3-hour erection.
Yeah. Best case scenario.
Yeah. So, for our last little bit of the show, Jack, have you had much relationship experience?
Yeah. Like, so I don't know how you just define much relationship experience, but I've had one very serious relationship for about 5 years.
Okay.
That sadly came to an end about a year ago.
Okay.
And then so now I've been in COVID single, which is arguably one of the worst times to be single.
Oh, definitely.
But that is kind of my relationship experience.
Okay, well that's fair enough. And so we have a topic here, and we just wondered if you could, because we've got a segment called Courting with James, where we basically just find different relationship scenarios and we give people advice on what they wanted. Okay. And we got someone here that's got a girlfriend. They're both about 21, 22, and the girlfriend's best friend is a man, is male, right? And he's just told this guy's girlfriend that he has feelings for her. So in response to that, the girlfriend has asked the boyfriend to go on a break. Right? So
that's awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
So the boyfriend is basically saying, what should I do in this
advice.
scenario? How should I respond to being told this information?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, that is not where I thought you were going to go with that.
Yeah. Because normally in these instances, when the girlfriend or boyfriend is like, I've got someone with me and she fancies me, they normally just sort of like slowly cut ties.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, just don't hang out with them anymore.
Yeah. I didn't expect the girlfriend to be like, okay, I'm going to go on a break. And
that's so bad.
Yeah.
Also, a break is breaking up. Like, let's be real.
I've had that.
What?
I've had my first long-term girlfriend was like, oh, can we go on a break?
Yeah.
And then it was just
if you said let's go on a break, that's we're broken up. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see, especially in this situation, I don't see any difference.
No, exactly.
It's, in my opinion, it's someone that wants to break up but doesn't have the guts to do it.
Yeah, she's heard that her best mate's got feelings, and he's like, oh, fuck, and now I could go for him, but I'm in a situation with somebody else.
But she wants him as a backup.
Yeah.
In case he doesn't want
to. Oh, awful woman.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say is, it's almost exactly as you guys have said, is she wants to kind of explore her options, and like her and this guy are close. They might have feelings for each other. Honestly, like, I don't even think she's a bad person. It's like, she's like, okay, like, she wants to explore her options. It's like, go on. Like, what are you, 21? Like, do it.
Yeah.
But as the guy viewing it as a break, that's not going to work out at all.
No.
Yeah. Like, as the guy, I think you just need to be like, be respectful. Be like, hey, I know you guys are close. Like, I wish you the best.
Yeah.
And I think you just need to acknowledge that like kind of one-on-one connection that you guys had is done. It's done.
Yeah, the best mate's ruined it now.
I think the healthiest thing for him is to just
move on.
Leave her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do it himself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it doesn't need to be salty. It doesn't need to be like, oh, like, I don't know. I just think like she's doing her. Obviously, like, she has some stuff she needs to think about. Don't be the dude that waits around.
No, oh God, no.
That's the thing.
He needs to move on.
Yeah.
And then if she comes running back, that would be bittersweet, to be honest. Best karma.
Yeah, well, then you have a whole different decision to make, right? Like, if you go do your own thing and you're doing things that make you happy and following your passions, and then she comes back and is like, hey, like, it was a mistake, like, we didn't work out.
Yeah.
Then you have a different decision to make of, like, were you having a better time, or do you want to go back to the way things were, like, knowing that she was willing to give someone else a try right in the middle of what you had.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, the trust would be gone.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
I probably, I wouldn't see myself going back to that person.
No,
I couldn't.
Yeah, for me, I don't know, like, it wouldn't even be the trust is gone. Like, for me, the trust would be gone if they were, like, discussing, if they were, like, trying to figure out what they had and neither of them told me.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
Right? Like, it's not like she's breaking his trust, but she's just honestly like, yo, I'm gonna go see how this works out.
Yeah.
And like, it wouldn't be that I don't trust her. It would just be like the fact that she had those feelings in the middle of it. It's a different spin, right? So I don't think I would go back afterwards, but I think the best thing you can do is do your own thing. And that girl's gone.
Yeah.
I mean,
her gone.
Everything happens for a reason. If she doesn't want to be with you, that's probably for the right thing.
Yeah,
do you know
absolutely.
what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do agree with you, because to be fair, it sounds like she's come to him and said this before they've, like, cheated or done anything like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the honest way to go.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, I think it's actually a grown-up thing for her to do. It's like, hey, this guy I have a really good relationship and have known forever has just randomly professed his love for me, and I don't know how I feel. I don't want you to be caught in the middle of that. Can we take a break?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like, that's a grown up thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, good for her. But I think as the guy, like, her head is going to be kind of caught in that limbo for way longer than you want to tell yourself it will be.
Yeah.
So like you may as well just go off, end that situation, and like do the best you can. And then if things end up spiraling back together and like she wants to get back with you, again, that's a whole another issue like that you got to start thinking about.
Yeah, man, you should go to therapy.
Yeah, I mean, you're very, very good with the advice there. We were just straight like, she's a horrible person.
No, I appreciate it. I had to do all these thought processes and stuff like that when I was going through my breakup, and it was hard because it was one of those things where there was no event, like nothing specifically went wrong.
Yeah.
And then at some point, like you got to go through the thought processes of like what you're really looking for and what you want to do in the next little while.
Yeah.
So I've thought a whole bunch of things about this.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's a huge change of routine. I think is the worst thing when you break up, because you're so used to like talking to someone every day and thinking about someone else when you make decisions, and you're suddenly not doing any of that.
Yeah.
And it's so
you're just all
surreal.
on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, in my experience, for like 2 days, it was super freeing. I was like, oh, like I'll just do what I please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for the next like 2 or 3 weeks, it was like super lonely. Like I expected it would be lonely. I was like, yeah, but I'd also been in a relationship for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know like how much it would be.
That's a long ass time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was long, and then you just like, it's those texts. Like it's like, oh, like I would go a day without texting anyone.
Yeah.
And then it would hit me, be like, oh, I hadn't done that in the last 5 years ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that 3 weeks, like you kind of settle into a new routine of for me, it was kind of remembering like why we ended things in the first place. And then I started really attacking things that I wanted to do, like starting this podcast and traveling and doing things with the friends that I wanted to do. And I think as soon as you have that new, like kind of that new normal down, and as soon as you have that new pattern and pursuing the passions you want to do, then you're in a better place than you were.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Thank you. I mean, out of all of the people that we've done Courting with James with, that's been the most in-depth, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really?
But yeah.
All right.
Thank you. We're coming to the end. How have you found being on our podcast today?
Oh, I'm smitten. I'm enjoying myself.
That's great.
I love that word.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a first collab, I think this couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, no, it went really well.
Yeah, I would love to chat with you guys again as well. I think I really love what you guys do, and I might try to pull it in a later season of mine, is have kind of these external prompts and stories like right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, like Jack, give me a second, I'll read this. Oh, this guy had a 3-hour erection and blah blah.
Yeah.
Right. And I love having that kind of external prompt where we can work off it. I really loved that. Because mine is kind of, it's not preset, but it's self-contained. Right? Like it's just me, Brad, and the guest. We work off each other, and then when it run its course, it's run its course.
Yeah.
But having that external, you don't really know where it's going to go, which I found really exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
What I love about like pre-planning my show is I find stuff that I know that I'm going to be really passionate about, and so that I can just like go head first at it. Like our last episode, we completely like dissected Hollywood and stuff like that, like the whole
pedophilia,
everything that's happening
and
it's like, messed up over there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. And we just like spent a whole like hour just going ham on that, and I loved it.
It was so fun. Yeah. It was so fun. And we did one on like all the Dubai influencers going abroad to like with the influencers going to Dubai.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I love that too. I kind of do a similar process where I just pick people I'm interested in like at the very start of the process. So I kind of have the same guarantee where I'm like, okay, I want to know how this person did what they did.
Yeah.
And I know they're a great speaker, and I'm just very interested in them. So I know as soon as I get them on the mic, we can go for an hour.
Yeah.
And it's because it's conversations I would love to have anyways.
Yeah, of course.
And then sometimes we'll blink and it's been like an hour, and I need to start reining them in because they're in the middle of giving me some advice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, like slow down. Like maybe we'll have another episode later.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like podcasting in general, just talking about what you're passionate about and then being able to share that passion with people who might be going through something similar is like the name of the game.
Yeah, definitely. And like we've met like people all over the world. Really.
Yeah,
mainly America and Canada now, but
but it's been refreshing having a guy on, because most of our collabs we found, most of the podcasts that we found at the moment, it's mostly women that are hosting them. So all our collabs have been women that have come on, and obviously they've all been really lovely. But it's nice to have a male voice. It's a lot different.
Yeah,
it's cool. Like this is on, like I said, my first collab, but I was surprised too because I'm following all these podcasts. You know, we have this big community on Instagram, and like 75% of them are woman led, which is just not what I expected. Like, I didn't know what I did expect, but I expected it to be about 50-50.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, especially because I come from a radio background, and so I had a lot of expectations in my head to when I was going to do it, and I've been surprised at stuff like that. Yeah,
it's interesting that you said that because I set up a different collab for every week of March, and all of mine are with guys.
Oh wow.
So far. Yeah, that's just like the way it's worked out. But... Fair. We'll see. I'm sure as I get more, we'll return to the mean.
Yeah, but if you want us to help you out and come on yours or do any work with you, we'd be delighted.
Yeah.
To get involved.
Absolutely. We must do this again. Whether or not we do it on yours or mine, I'm completely easy.
Absolutely.
But we'll figure it out.
So where can our listeners like find you? What socials are you on? Everything like that.
Streamers.
I'm on Instagram at stayhome_son.
Right.
I'm on Facebook as Stay at Home Son.
Cool.
I'm on Twitter as the same as my Instagram.
Cool.
The same. And for listening to actual content, I'm on Spotify and Apple. And I don't know if you guys do this, but for people who don't have an account on anything, you can get it on my website as well. Just go on the website and click the episode.
Cool. Yeah, we got a website as well. Yeah.
Yeah, super handy. I found it super handy for the grandparents.
Yes.
Definitely.
My grandma texts me. She's like, Jack, I want to listen. And I can't explain Spotify or Apple. And if I can, like, they don't have accounts on them anyways.
Yeah.
So I just send them the direct link. And I'm like, click play. And then
you'll hear it.
Give it a listen.
We had that exact thing with my auntie and I think your mum as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it comes in handy.
Yeah.
But no, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anytime, honestly. I know it's evening for you guys, but it's morning for me, and it's been a great start to the day.
I know, that's so wild.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm thankful that you guys had me on, and then it's a beautiful day out here. It's like 6 degrees, so I'm gonna go run around and do what I want.
Nice.
But I honestly could not have pictured a better start.
Yeah, I loved it.
Great. Well, thank you everyone else for listening as well, and we'll catch you all next week, and we hope you've all enjoyed it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.